cutting time.
Thanks everyone for asking me to cut the cake. It's very nice of you, and it's terrific to be here and to see such a vibrant group doing something about public housing. And I endorse the remarks made by Jamie Parker earlier. I mean, we're constantly reading about how housing is becoming less and less affordable to buy. And like everybody, I'm sure, I'm shocked when I hear some of the prices people are paying for rent in housing now. And it seems to me that if we had the Housing Department, or as it used to be called, the Housing Commission, doing something about increasing the stock of Housing Department homes, that it would also do something to keep some balance in the prices that people are having to pay now for both to buy or to rent housing. And so it's marvellous to see that there is an active group in this area that's doing something. I remember when Frank Walker said one time he ended up becoming, he was the Minister for Housing in this state, and they changed the name from the Housing Commission to the Department of Housing. And later on, he went onto the bench of the Workers' Compensation Court, and at that time people were still saying Housing Commission. I remember him saying there one day, I don't know why I bothered to change the name. People are still referring to it as the Housing Commission. But one can only wish that we still had the situation when he was the Minister for Housing, when at least we were increasing the amount of public housing stock. And it's a far cry from the days when the Whitlam government was elected in 1972. And here we've got a federal election on at the moment, and one would think that, like, it's just not an issue. Nobody is raising those sorts of issues in this campaign from either side of the major political parties. And it's such a breath of fresh air to hear Jamie speak today and to talk about these issues, so that at least the Greens are raising these issues and keeping them before the public, and it is only to be hoped that they get a bit more publicity because they're the ones who are raising these sorts of subjects. And really the two main political parties are doing nothing about the subject, and it doesn't even seem to be on their radar. Anyway, I'm glad...
So I'm from the Labor Party, I'm here today. So
Good.
That's terrific, but I wish that the leader of the Labor Party was saying something about public housing, because in 1972, certainly Whitlam was, and Tom Uren was fantastic in doing the job he did about public housing at that time. And it just is something that I, for one, and I'm watching the campaign pretty closely, have not heard a single word about.
Well, I think the reason that they don't is because they both know that it's so badly now it has to be faced.
It seems to be part of public policy to do that, from what the speakers today have said. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for inviting me to cut the cake, and I'm very pleased to do so. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. One's vanilla, one's chocolate. Do you want to do something about the video?
Oh, you've got that in as well.
Oh yeah.
You want to be a film director.
Well.
I think the